a time when the company is rapidly losing value.
It's the simple video message that landed in staff inboxes this morning, telling 1,600 Atlassian employees they're being let go.
I don't make decisions like this lightly.
The Aussie-born tech company fired 10% of its global workforce, 500 jobs in Australia axed, freeing up funds to invest in artificial intelligence.
We're also a people company. It's an incredibly hard decision, but I still believe that it's the right one.
Atlassian's best known for developing collaboration software used by big brands like Mercedes-Benz, Nestle and ANZ. The sacked staff, the latest casualties to AI in the tech sector. The global technology company Block slashed its workforce from 10,000 jobs to just over 6. WiseTech Global is slashing 30% of its workforce. That's about 2,000 jobs gone. Amazon, as of this month, made 16,000 corporate job cuts to improve efficiency. And Dow Chemical, one of the largest chemical producers in the world, is shedding 13% of its workforce, 4,500 jobs. Raising fears this is just the beginning.
Far more quickly and more efficiently and at a fraction of the cost. We're going to see a few more people, unfortunately, having to face the unemployment lines.
Inga Nielsen, 7 News.
It's been revealed a luxury Queensland cruise ship that ran aground in PNG had steered far from its intended course. 80 passengers and 44 crew were on board the Coral Adventurer when it became stranded in December. The ATSB's preliminary report shows the ship couldn't correct its path in time before it hit a reef. In October last year, the same vessel was responsible for abandoning a Sydney grandmother on Lizard Island off Cairns, leaving her to die.
Queensland is making pharmacy prescribing permanent. 2 trials allowed trained pharmacists to treat everyday health conditions like ear infections, acne and eczema, and also prescribe birth control. A trial for treating cardiovascular disease and asthma will continue until next year and then be evaluated. More than 135 community pharmacists from Cairns to the Gold Coast are taking part.
Aussie rock royalty is heading to the Gold Coast. Ian Moss will take centre stage at the Blues on Broadbeach Festival. He joins big-name acts like the Teskey Brothers for the 4-day event.
High power, lots of fun, lots of good stories and hopefully a good time.
The festival kicks off on May 14.
Mel McLaughlin's shock cancer diagnosis has inspired a crusade for change. Next, the warning signs to watch out for.
Help from above. A dog saved from croc-infested waters.
And
3, 2, 1, go.
Don't miss Daniel Rioli's handy fishing tips. Hello, $50 billion has been wiped from the Australian Stock Exchange today as the Middle East war rages on. But oil prices rallied, with Brent crude surging by 9.2% to more than $100 per barrel. The Australian dollar is trading at its highest level in years, inching closer to 72 US cents. That's the strongest it's been since mid-2022. And that is because the market is convinced that the Reserve Bank will raise interest rates at least twice more in the next few months. All 4 major banks are tipping the cash rate will rise in both March and May. On the markets, the ASX 200 closed lower today, dropping more than 114 points or 1.31%, and the Aussie dollar is buying 71.3 US cents. Thanks, Elizabeth. 2 people and a dog have been saved from a car stuck in floodwaters in the Northern Territory. A helicopter arrived in the nick of time in Katherine. A police officer dropped onto the vehicle's roof and retrieved the trio one by one. Katherine is facing a huge clean-up after its worst flood in almost 30 years.
Last night, we shared with you the heartbreaking news that Seven Sport presenter Mel McLaughlin is battling lung cancer. A lifelong non-smoker, Mel says she wants all Australians to know the warning signs in the hope it'll save lives.
Turning her battle into a call to action.
I just owe it to people that maybe could get something out of this.
Seven's Mel McLaughlin revealing she had half her lung removed after a cancer diagnosis in December. The symptoms were vague.
I had some pain in my stomach and that went on for a few months. I probably ignored it, thinking it was exercise or something.
It didn't go away. She eventually saw a doctor who ordered a CT scan.
She called me later at night when I was at work. She called me to say, your stomach's completely fine, but we found something at the bottom part of your lung.
Testing confirmed cancer. Fortunately, it hadn't spread. But the news no less shocking to Mel, who lost her sister to the same disease.
It's just very traumatic. It's very triggering.
And her colleagues, including Justin Langer, the cricket legend who worked alongside Mel as she prepared for surgery.
It was a great shock to us because we all know Mel's one of the great people, one of the most beautiful people you'll ever meet. It goes to show that cancer doesn't discriminate against anybody.
15,000 people were diagnosed last year. Almost 9,000 died. That's more than breast, prostate and brain cancers combined. The chance of surviving at least 5 years, 27%.
Lung cancer is Australia's most deadly cancer.
Because it's often caught too late, with national screening programs mainly targeting smokers over 50. But smoking is only one risk factor. Genetics and environmental causes like toxic fumes from air pollution, cooking and cleaning all contribute.
All you really need to be at risk of lung cancer is a pair of lungs.
Respiratory symptoms should be taken seriously. See a doctor if you have a cough that lasts longer than 3 weeks, unexplained shortness of breath, chest pain, coughing up blood, fatigue and weight loss.
Someone who knows the journey too well, Dr. Bryony Scott. Like Mel, her lung cancer was discovered by accident. She's also a non-smoker and had similar surgery.
I'm now 10 years on. In fact, I have just celebrated my 10th anniversary.
Her message to all who face the uncertainty of a cancer diagnosis:
medical progress has been extraordinary. There is so much hope.
Mel has been swamped with messages from well-wishers, and we know she'll get through this. There are more details on lung cancer, symptoms and how you can help at 7news.com.au. Jennifer Beshwati, 7 News.
Palm Beach has made room for 60 new residents. Good thing they're small and won't be around for long. The green sea turtle hatchlings made a mad dash for the sea after bursting out of their shells last night.
This species usually take about 6 to 8 years in what's known as the lost years, navigating the ocean before they return back into our local waterways.
The SeaWorld Foundation and Turtle Watch volunteers have been monitoring the nest, the first of the season, ready for the big, brave world.
Coming up, Queensland's Choc Shock. The Easter egg hunt for the cheapest treats as prices soar. Could we see a bunny boycott? Don't miss that story just ahead on 7 News.
Not a bunny boycott. First though, Steve, sport.
Yeah, thanks, Sarah. Hi, everyone. Coming up, the Dolphins get defensive. We'll have the latest from Suncorp ahead of the Broncos' clash with the Eels. As Brisbane get their man landing the enforcer they wanted to replace Payne Haas. Plus, the Lions find the missing link and summon a rookie to solve their selection issues against the Swans. The Broncos have landed an enforcer to replace the gaping hole to be left by the shock departure of Payne Haas next season, with Mitch Barnett signing a 3-year multi-million-dollar deal. It's just the tonic before tonight's clash with Parramatta, where we find Trevor Gilmeister with Rowan Walsh.
Steve, thanks. Gilly, let's get straight to Mitch Barnett. Perfect timing for Brisbane.
I think it's outstanding, mate. Mitch Barnett's a very, very good player. He's aggressive and had a few suspensions, but and he's got a couple of injuries at the moment, so hopefully they can get that sorted.
He's not exactly a clean skin, is he? I'll tell you what, I would have loved to have seen him and Payne Haas both in the same team, but that's not to be, obviously.
Well, I think, mate, they would have spent a bit of time on the sidelines, but what are the competition with those front rowers? They'd be sensational. It reminds me of Kevin Campion a little bit as well, but he's a bit bigger, and Campo was a great player as well.
Okay, talk will immediately turn to who might be traded if it comes down to that to the Warriors. Names like Jordan Ricky, Billy Walters, Dean Mariner have been tossed up already.
Well, I can understand Jordan Ricky. He's a Kiwi. Maybe he wants to go home. Who knows, mate? We'll find that out later in life.
Okay, so Payne Haas will be crucial, obviously, tonight, but this just shapes the halfback battle, doesn't it? Battle of the halves. First look at young Pezzett in Brisbane before he dons Broncos colours next year.
Yeah, love to see their halves. Mitchell Moses, best kicking game in the competition. The big thing is too, Payne Haas and Junior Paulo. That's going to be a great clash as well.
All right. Well, two sides desperate for a victory after round one disappointments.
OK, thanks, guys. The Dolphins and Titans showdown at Suncorp on Sunday is set to explode. A collective 90 points were racked up against the pair in the opening round. Now both are talking up the importance of dominating from the kickoff.
A timely visit to a defence base for the Dolphins.
Haven't been a good defensive team and get labelled that.
Launching their Anzac Day jersey, Tom Gilbert says the Rabbitohs purge was on him.
You can't expect blokes to go do something you're not willing to do. So at the end of the day, it starts with me and falls back on me.
It was the same message from Titans coach Josh Hannay after the Sharks 50. Both desperate not to miss the jump, second time around.
They're going to want to start fast just like us.
We'll be ready to play.
Also ready to play, Cowboys fullback Scott Drinkwater with pain-killing injections against the Tigers at Leichhardt.
He hasn't done any contact, but he's been able to participate in train and move around pretty well. He will get some assistance to play. It'll be back to normal. He'll be sore next week.
Todd Payton not looking like a coach under pressure from the Vegas defeat.
We just need to screw up a little bit with our halves, that's all. Dig a little bit further into the line.
His former premiership teammate hoping to turn up the heat.
Criticism's going to come no matter what. I look at a guy like Madge who just won a grand final. He's copping it left, right and centre. He just won the comp. I actually can't believe it.
And Wayne Bennett sticking by his calls for fans to stay off the field if Alex Johnston breaks Ken Irvine's long-standing try-scoring record against the Roosters.
The opposition don't give a damn about Alex's record. So why would we focus on it? The bottom line it'll happen, and when it happens we'll all celebrate.
Kieran Tui, 7 News.
The Lions suspension and injury calamity has opened the door for a remarkable comeback for Lincoln McCarthy. After 2 ruptured ACLs and almost 2 years on the sidelines, the Premiership forward is finally back against the Swans on Saturday night.
He's trained the house down this pre-season and, it'd be a huge lift for the boys and myself. Obviously, he's a great player and a very special player and, a big cult hero at the club.
The Lions' depth up forward will be tested with Loman McCarthy and Charlie Cameron needing to fire. Seven commentator and Premiership great Luke Hodge is at the MCG, where this week kicks off with Carlton and Richmond. Hodgie, what a week for the Lions. How do they cover the injuries and suspensions, particularly Harris Andrews and Hugh McCluggage?
Well, I think it's down to the second gamer, Zane Zakatelski. He's going to have to go from ruck back to full-back or centre-half back, but they do have some experienced blokes coming in. It looks like Draper's coming in for his first game for his new team. They've got Noah Ainsworth as well, Premiership player. So they've got a few experienced guys to come back in, but it's going to be a big ask.
A great comeback story, though, with Lincoln McCarthy and a debut for the highly touted Dan Annable.
Yeah, you're right. Link McCarthy, he's a club favourite, he's a fan favourite, and he gives a little bit of structure and a lot of two-way running as that high half forward. So he was missed, even though they've won a couple of premierships, but they're glad to see him back. And Dan Annable, he's just a star, number 5 pick from last year's draft, and he'll be exciting for many years to come.
Things are much smoother on the Gold Coast. The Suns now premiership favourites, can you believe it, and should be too strong for West Coast on Sunday.
I was down there firsthand to see Petrarca, to see Humphreys, to see that midfield just dominate last year's grand finals in the Cats. They got the West Coast this week, so I'd say it's going to be an easy win, but tell you what, the things are looking good for the Suns.
OK, Hodgie, you have a great weekend, and thanks very much for breaking it down.
Thanks, Steve.
So it's Carlton and Richmond tonight, and the Lions take on the Swans on Saturday night from 7:30. The Matildas are on guard for a physical battering in tomorrow's Asian Cup quarter-final against North Korea, who boast a reputation for suspect tactics. Australia's captain urging the Tillies to concentrate on their own game.
I think just being ready for it, and it's probably nice to see a little bit of it the other day, just based on the fact that we now know what we can expect, but just focusing ourselves is the main thing.
Steph Catley and Hayley Russo remain sidelined by concussion. In Adelaide, Hannah Green's 4 shots off the lead at the Women's Australian Open after a 2-under par opening round. 3-time major champion Minjee Lee sits at even par. Fellow Aussie Steph Kiriakou ended a difficult day with this on the 17th.
Oh, come on. Hey! A glimmer of light in a round of darkness for Steph Kiriakou.
She finished 9 over par. Kelsey Bennett's the best of the Aussies at 3 under. Stacks of footy on telly tonight. Just sit in front of the box all night.
That sounds good. All right. Thanks, Steve. Well, some families are planning a chocolate bunny boycott this year, with soaring costs leaving a bitter taste.
There are hefty price tags on usual festive favourites as supermarkets remain under scrutiny.
Supermarket shelves packed with Easter treats, but prices are delivering a shock. $30 for Daryl Lee's Big Bunny at IGA.
That's ridiculous.
Easter Bunny, $30. Would you pay for that?
No, not today.
Name the price, chocolate, so I'll pay anything really. I don't mind, as long as it tastes good.
According to comparison app Zift, the price of a 100-gram Lindt Bunny is up 50% in just 2 years, now costing between nearly $9 and $14 depending on where you shop. Retailers and chocolate makers blaming costs on global cocoa supply shortages.
Cocoa prices did more than quadruple at one point, but they're now back to normal, so it's very hard to see, to justify those continued price increases.
Cheaper chocolate can be found at Aldi, a net of eggs for $1.99, while Coles, Woolworths and IGA are all cycling through specials.
I'll wait until the day after Easter, then celebrate.
Confidence in supermarket pricing is already low and under scrutiny. Coles has been in court for allegedly misleading customers with fake discounts. Woolworths comes up against the ACCC next month.
I would imagine the major supermarkets are being very, very cautious right now with their pricing, their discounts, because they're in the eye of the storm, frankly.
Georgia Holland, 7 News.
Still on 7 News, special deliveries bringing comfort to Queenslanders in hospital. Sunnyside with Sam is next.
And these sunny conditions won't last too long. A change is on the way tomorrow. I'll have the forecast next.
From petrol to power, with fuel prices surging and war in the Middle East escalating, ditching the Bowser for the battery.
50% uplift over the past 2 weeks.
7 News investigates which models are worth it, which ones aren't, and the real money you could save. On 7 News tomorrow.
Good evening, Queensland. Checking your weather now, and it's been a hot one across the southeast. Dry air brought a cooler morning, then that spike in temperatures during the day, along with crisp, clear skies. This sunrise from Wynnum, looking across the wading pool and out across the Bayside, well worth getting up early. Ipswich and Beaudesert topped the podium today on 35 degrees after both dropped to 16 overnight. That humidity has dropped a little to take the edge off the heat too. Across Queensland, hot in the southeast ahead of an inland trough over these southern districts here. That system has triggered a few patchy storms over the southern inland this afternoon, and more widespread unsettled weather has lingered across the tropics. Tomorrow, not much change in the tropics, and that will be the case for a few days yet. More wet weather on the way. We'll see a southerly wind change moving across the southeast here. That will bring a few showers and a drop in temperatures. Longer term, it's likely that we'll have a low spinning around somewhere out in the Coral Sea by mid to late next week. I'm not too concerned about the cyclone risk for now. We're more likely to just get gusty winds for a few days and really make it feel like autumn. Across the nation tomorrow, cooling down in Sydney, 23 degrees with a possible morning shower. Hobart stays brisk in the teens and also a sprinkle, and a bit of drizzle around in Melbourne on 20. Back up to the Queensland tropics, still warmer than that at night. Storms continue for Weipa and Mount Isa. Heavy showers with a possible storm in Cairns. That grades down to a shower or two in Townsville, then more and more sunshine towards Mackay, 30 degrees. Heading south, a few showers developing on that wind change, starting around the Granite Belt at lunchtime, then pushing further north towards the Wide Bay into the evening. Nothing significant, so don't expect them to worsen any flooding. But Longreach residents, you will need to watch for a significant major flood from tomorrow into next week. That flood peak is making its way downstream as we speak. In the southeast, becoming windy on the beaches as the day goes on. Showers also developing from lunchtime into the afternoon and evening. A warmer night and cooler day, 21 overnight, a top of 31 degrees in Mount Gravatt. Boaties, lightest winds early, then southeasterlies whipping up to 25 to 30 knots on Moreton Bay late. So in Brisbane, a few showers from lunchtime onwards, 22 up to 31 degrees. Then into the weekend, cloudier and cooler, but the showers ease back. Just a possible sprinkle Saturday and Sunday. A good chance it will be dry for the Sunshine Showdown at Suncorp on Sunday night. In Ipswich, 29 and 28 degrees on Saturday and Sunday. Cloudy conditions start to take over. Gold Coasters also mostly dry for the weekend, but it'll be very windy on the beaches on Saturday, easing a little on Sunday. And on the Sunshine Coast, also watch out for the wind on Saturday, then a run of mostly cloudy and cooler days with the odd shower in the mix through next week. Now let's check in with Daniel Rioli's weekly fishing tips.
G'day guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to use a hand line, which is very basic, so let's give it a whirl. So this is your hand line. They're pretty cheap, they're only around $10, so nothing expensive. All you need to do is get your line out in the water and give it a crack. So today we're going to be using pilchards. As you can see, I've got a little circle hook here on the tail, and then go again once more. It's going to expose the hook just a little bit. So before you start throwing your line, you want to make sure your dominant hand is where the bait is, and then on your left hand, your thumb is very important. So you want to make sure your thumb is holding that piece of line just like this. What you want to do is twirl it around just like this, give it a whirl, and then when you're about to release, your thumb's going to release at the same time as you throw. 3, 2, 1, go. Here we go, I'm getting a bite, I'm getting a bite. Take it, take it. Oh, I rushed it too much there, I reckon. Like I said, let it take it, because if I rush it, no fish. Let's have a look at what you've been catching. This is 11-year-old Jack. He went out on the water off Harvey Bay with his uncle and managed to reel in this epic cobia. And 9-year-old Taylor also had a very successful day, hooking a blue-nosed salmon. Keep sending your pics to our Catch of the Day email or the 7 News Facebook page. I'd love to see them. Well, there you have it, guys. Cheap and easy way to catch your fish. So let's keep reeling them in.
Thanks, Daniel. Now it's time for Sunnyside. Here's Sam.
Tonight on Sunnyside, the little boxes bringing immense comfort to patients and their families in their time of need. They're the angels in pink delivering a warm hug in a box. For any patients admitted to the palliative care unit at Logan Hospital, they get this, a box full of essentials so patients' loved ones don't have to leave their side.
Things like toothbrush and toothpaste and deodorant, some colouring in books or playing cards, socks and some snacks. It's really, really important.
Started in 2019, Lisa's lunches have proved so popular, they're now being delivered to all Metro South hospitals.
Thanks, Sam. And that's all from us this Thursday.
Have a great night.
Good night.